The West African sub-region in recent times has been faced with the challenges of insurgency and extremism. Investigations have suggested ties between terrorist groups in the sub-region and international terrorism networks such as Al-Qaeda. This development has increased calls for a transnational collaboration within the ECOWAS sub-region to evolve a comprehensive counter-terrorism strategy for the sub-region. Our correspondent, Amaka Okafo, takes a look at efforts made towards achieving this.
This has become the order of the day following the emergence of Islamic militia group Boko Haram in the northeastern part of Nigeria since 2009. Killings and bombings have claimed so many lives, not minding the military and non-military interventions in that part of the country. At a recent regional meeting on counter-terrorism strategies for the West African sub-region, the federal government threw more light on some of the interventions undertaken to combat the insurgents.
We began by putting in place a national security architecture that is anchored on citizen participation and focused on livelihood defense. To this end, we undertook far-reaching measures which culminated in my signing into law on 3rd June 2011, the Terrorism Prevention Act, TPA 2011, and the Money Laundering Prohibition Act of 2011.
These extremist behavior is, however, not restricted to Nigeria alone. In Mali, a sister West African state, several insurgent groups have been fighting for the autonomy of the northern part of the country. They include the National Movement for the Liberation of Azawad, backed by the Islamic group Ansar Din. There is yet another group called Movement for the Oneness and Jihad in West Africa. These cases of terrorism have given rise to calls for regional and international interventions. This is more so when, according to the National Security Advisor to the Nigerian President, there are evidences of ties between the terrorist groups in the region and international terrorist networks.
Game-changing incidents and sophistication of the emerging terrorist groups have thrown up greater challenges to security and intelligence agencies across our region. Of immediate concern to us today is the increasing cooperation between the Boko Haram group in Nigeria and established terror groups operating in the Sahel. There is also a fine line between these groups and well-known international terrorist networks. Since terrorist activities in one part of the region or world are capable of affecting the other parts, we have come to the realization that the fight against terrorism is not a one-man, one agency, one nation, or one region fight.
Regional and multinational intervention in the sub-region are already emerging. The ECOWAS sub-region, collaborating with the African Union and the United Nations Security Council, has taken steps to deal with the insurgency, especially in Mali. United Nations resolution on the deployment of troops under the AU-UN arrangement is being adopted by the ECOWAS sub-region.
The Mediation and Security Council is going to discuss the military plan that has been articulated by ECOWAS in collaboration with the African Union, the United Nations, COB, neighboring countries to Mali, and other stakeholders. This plan was articulated over the past 1 week in Bamako with the Malian government as a leader of the process and all the members of the international community supporting it.
Beyond these measures, experts say there is a need to adopt other counter-terrorism strategies in view of the transnational nature of terrorist activities and the fact that terrorism cannot be addressed through military force alone.
For example, a joint border patrol would definitely help in reducing the incidence of such occurrences. And then, of course, information gathering and sharing, with the immigration, keeping surveillance at the borders, They'll be able to check records. They'll be able to know the number of people who have come in. They'll be able to know the number of people who are going out. There's need to test, run, these concepts or these ideas.
There are significant linkages amongst good governance, security sector reforms, criminal justice sector reforms, and immigration control in the fight against terrorism. What is required is the political will among countries in the ECOWAS sub-region to strengthen these sectors within their territories and to open up avenues for a strong multinational counter-terrorism strategy, as is the case with the intervention in Mali. Amaka Okafor, Channels Television News.